Hey, how's everybody doing? Stream will start shortly. Give me a minute and I'll arrange everything. Give me a minute, I'll just set up a few things and we'll get started. Alright. We have video. Do we now? No. It's minimized. Just give me a minute. There we go. Yeah, I think that works. This is my Twitch. Alright, so welcome back. Yes, this is the second stream. Just give me a heads up if the audio is a bit off when it comes to, you know, how loud it is. And welcome back. My name is Rod. This is Tafto trying a few things out. And this is the second restream dub. What the heck is a restream dub? You can see it over there. That's scrolling on the upper side of your screen. It's actually actually a stream that was made back in February, I believe, or March, in Spanish. And I, as a personal challenge, I actually wanted to make this in both languages, in English and Spanish. Considering that people that were live in the stream back then were mostly Spanish speakers, I didn't have the need to make it in English. However, I'm just restreaming while explaining what happened in English over the original footage of the second stream in this case. In this stream, I'm just gonna let it play out, just as it should, right? So this is like the pre-show that we had back then. Again, with the we and the royal we. It's actually just me who's doing all this. So as you can see in the GIFs down there, it's the idea was to have this double stream thing going on. And right now I'm you know doing what I promised, streaming in English too. So I'm just gonna get the volume of the music a bit lower because it feels a bit too strong. So I'm gonna skip ahead, see if things are going. Yes. So what you are actually seeing is old footage from March, and my face right now is on top of where my face was back then, explaining everything in Spanish. So, and also as I disclaimed earlier in the first video, this was done while streaming. Hey, that popped up. While streaming on a Mac. I'm actually streaming from a PC right now. Mac proved to be a bit more complicated to streaming, so I believe starting from the third episode onwards, I used the PC. And you'll notice a big change. Right now you can see the frames are skipping like mad in the video that we have in the background. So yeah, this is a restream dub. I'll be doing whatever I was doing back then and trying to explain what we have on screen. So right now what we see is a very early prototype of Crowdtron. You guys, if you were a bit before on the pre-show, you noticed that the design is quite different actually. And what I did between episodes was give it a little bit color for each limb, so it would be color coded, right? So you got red, green, blue, yellow, whatever. And the idea is people that were on the chat could start playing with the parts of the robot. However, you couldn't do it back then because we didn't have the part of Twitch Plays implemented. What the heck is Twitch Plays? So this started off as a bit of an obsession with what happened with Twitch Plays Pokemon. Twitch Plays Pokemon was a stream, I believe, roughly 3 years ago or something like that, that players could control Red from Pokemon Red on the screen by giving prompts as if they were buttons on a Game Boy Color. And I thought to myself that there is something interesting to do with, you know, games that could be played on chat. So I started creating this stream. Well, I developed and let people play with the robot. I don't know what the heck is going on with the past stream. It's like skipping back and forth between the pre-show and the real show. So the idea was that eventually you will be able to type those letters over there, Q, W, Z, X, ZX, yeah, it was ZX, Y, U, M, B, N, to move each limb either clockwise or counterclockwise. And that was the idea, actually. So what we're gonna see today is how I managed to pull the Twitch Plays part. And it was rather easy, actually, because there's a lot of, you know, documentation around the web for this. I am not much of a programmer, as it code programming with, you know, Python and stuff, and this uses a lot of Python, and well, not really a lot, but it does use Python. I have no experience at all with Python and still managed to pull it off, so it's still it means it's rather easy. And I'm gonna skip ahead. This is like super stuck on the first part of the, I must be explaining how to do the whole thing, because it's been like 6 minutes of the original footage going on in the background. Here it is, yay. So let me see if I can skip ahead to when I start. Yeah, it's fun to watch me do weird stuff on the screen as I'm covering it on top right now. So let me see one thing. Oh my god. So if anybody's on the chat and has any doubts, please do ask right now. It's the idea is, if you had any trouble working with this back when it was in Spanish and you have doubts right now, it's the best time to just ask away. So this is what I did. What you see over there right on top of the screen is a URL right there. It's wetus.com. This guy made a great guide to have your own Twitch Plays game, right? So this guy just called it like it is make your own Twitch Play stream. That's it. You can see it in the URL over there, and it's literally that simple. Just go to that web and you just scroll around and, you know, just copy paste most of the stuff, actually. Yeah. So back on the past video, somebody stopped by and said they were doing they did actually a Twitch Plays Undertale, and I believe it picked up from here because it's that easy. You just need a few things, and actually this is why I started using PC too, because most of the stuff that you need here can only work on PC, right? I'm gonna stop the video right here. So as the video says, as the website says, actually, you need to get ready with a few things. Python, PyWin32, which is a Python add-on, and LitClips, which is a coding program, and FFsplit for broadcasting. However, I'm broadcasting with OBS, not with FFsplit. That's not like a super precise thing to you just have to use that one. Those actually are links. You can download each part that you need, and they work. They just work. And as it says right there, the PyWin32 thing will help us simulate the key presses, which is the main thing that we're looking for. So we can just, you know, take the data from the chat and use it as key presses, and that's, you know, the whole idea of this. So take it as take that footage and use it, take that, you know, input and use it as a key press. So I just highlighted that, the FFsplit part. Then again, I must be explaining that I'm using OBS, and it explains how things work around in here. And just gonna scroll a bit faster over here, because yeah, just how to configure your own stream software. It's like you can find this anywhere. If you're interested in streaming, you can find it like everywhere on the web. And so I just skipped by to the part with setting up LitClips. LitClips, as it says right here, I just gotta download it. I downloaded it based on the URL that was available, on the link that was available before, and just follow the steps. I always say this, but it's kind of like this. Follow these steps. The steps that are over there, and just let me. Hey, Emo, welcome back. And yes, I'm doing this in English right now because it's part of the deal to just do it in both languages. So, hey, what are you gonna do? Yes, open LitClips, start a new project, as it says right there. You will create a new project, just name it whatever. Create a folder inside the project called main, blah 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 blah. Let me do a little thing, because when I look that way, I should be looking to the screen. I'm gonna, give me a second, I'm gonna, mirror my image here. So can I flip this? Give me a second. I can configure this. Camera control, video, whatever. I think I can. Nope, not like this. And well, I'm not having that much luck. Apparently I can't flip it as easily as I thought it would be. Brightness, contrast, hue, backlight, camera control, zoom, exposure, pan, tilt, whatever. Well, never mind. Anyways, yes, so in the meantime, the video has been doing a lot of stuff that I skipped through. So let me get back in here. So again, setting up LitClips. We stopped there in the, just give me a second. What was this? So yeah, the thing is, if you go to this website, you'll notice that it has this, numbers in here, 1, 2, 3. It's not that user friendly, because you don't really know there was stuff in there that you could actually read. So do click on those, because all the steps, or rather sub-steps of what you have to do are in there. And just like I said, go ahead. It seems like let's see each step. So in step 1, you're gonna have this pop-up that goes, it seems like that the Python interpreter is not currently configured. Do you want to configure manual configuration? And each step there, I was highlighting each of the steps. So if you follow through, just make it without a problem at all. So you just go and click on each step and make it work. It's not that hard. When it comes to coding, you're gonna need these three Python files. If you have no idea what Python is, no problem at all, just follow these instructions, you'll be doing just fine. The only time you're gonna have to do a little bit of actual coding is picking the keyboard prompts that you want to use. So instead of arrows and A and B, you just use something else. There you go. It's like I opened my MainPI, which is, I stopped the video right there, and this is the file. This is the LitClips on my computer, and you see I have the 3 files open, the 3 Python files, and I'm gonna go edit as I go along. So this is I actually did it before I streamed to make sure it worked, and so I could explain it to you guys. So I mean, I actually did it before I actually streamed it back then in Spanish. So the code itself, you can download it from that website, from Wich's website, and you just have to copy paste and change it according to what you need. And here's the thing. Those bugs over there. Those bugs that say terminated. If not self-Twitch login status. Oh, you're gonna have to provide your own Twitch values to just be able to access the chat of your channel and use it accordingly. So let's see what else I was talking about over there. Yes, those are the 3 things we're going to be making. There you go, that's the thing. Those things that were highlighted is just literally copy pasting. So, and the good thing is the one that has a green parenthesis, it's the actual one that's gonna change depending on what keys you wanna get from the chat, right? The other 2, you don't need to change it much, because the modifications that you need on MainPI are, well, we're gonna see the code, the original code right now. Right, so this is the code, and as you can see, we need first what's on line 9 and 10. We need to know our username and the authorization code. Right, I'm just zooming in so you can watch it, actually read what's in there. So in my case, my username is Tafta with Rod, and the authorization key, you just gotta get it from Twitch. They have a website that you can just pick it up, the authorization key, the OAuth, right? And that code is your own code. Try not to stream it and try not to show it, because it's what lets you access your API for your chat. That way you can do whatever you want with the chat. So you're actually just lifting the data from your chat, and it's on you to do whatever you want with it. In this case, you want to use the key presser to simulate key presses, and you want to use the what was it, the Twitch, yeah, the Twitch part to just make sure it logs in. Those 2 you don't have to touch, and as the instructions said. Yes, I'm stopping it right there. Enter your Twitch username and authorization key below, and the app connects to Twitch with the details. Your authorization key can be granted at twitchapps.com TMI. I believe that still works, because, you know, things change a bit fast in the internets. But yeah, you can pick it right there. You just log in with your username and you're gonna get your own OAuth key, right? And you can use it in this code. And this looks like super boring, but it's actually really cool once you get the hang of it. And it's cool to see, you know, chat making your game move. It's quite interesting. It's probably gonna be another experiment within a few months after I'm done with this Crowdtron thing. And well, let's see, I'm moving my hands a lot in the actual video, not in here. I move my hands a lot, yeah. So the great thing about this code is that it also is really it has a lot of comments, so you actually know what you're doing. It's in English though, so, well, if you're watching this, you know your English. However, if you watched the original stream, which that was in Spanish, you may have a little bit of trouble, but hey, you can always ask, and there's no problem with that. So just give me a second. Yeah. So this is how the Twitch, we send this data to the Twitch class or Twitch program, the second tab, because remember it was main, it was Twitch, and then it was key presser. So we're sending this data to the Twitch part of the code, and there's a function called Twitch Connect that needs 2 parameters, username and key. Username and key are the ones that we wrote just above, you know. In this case it's with us and it's code here thing going on, because we define a username, with us, key, authorization code here, right? So we just do that, and if you just having trouble getting to understand, oh, give me a second. Let me get a bit back. Oh my god, it's 1 second at a time. I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm not doing anything. There we go. Or maybe I should. Give me a second. There we go. So, what am I watching? Now I wanted to explain to you this right here. We were talking about parameters and, you know, functions and stuff. So, as you might recall, in the first lines of code 4 and 5, we define T as an object for Twitch and K as an object for the key presser, right? Twitch and key presser are the other programs that we'll be using. And Twitch and key presser, as defined, it's kind of like how classes work. Classes as in, you know, programming. I'm not much of a programmer, but I do my best. And at least that's what I believe I need to know when it comes to this. I know a thing or two about other stuff, but this, I'm kind of iffy. Anyways, now what's highlighted, as I was saying, is a function or a method from the Twitch program or the Twitch class. Since T, we already know, is Twitch, then we put a dot, we put a period. That's going to allow us to use the methods or functions that are inside that class. So amongst them is Twitch Connect, and Twitch Connect needs 2 parameters, username and key. Then we go on. Right, so this was showing, I skipped ahead. So there we go. I'm using the username and key, blah blah blah. Wait, back. There we go. So this part of the code. So, while true, God knows why, we define the new messages as a function, as whatever Twitch received messages retrieves, right? And Twitch received messages is a method / function of the Twitch class that we now consider as T, right? That over here. If no new messages, then no new messages. So we just go on. If there are new messages, then we just add it and print it. You see, message is message dot lower. That's configuration of a way of just how to show the what's going on, just showing in a different lowercase actually. And the username, if we need that data, we'll show the username. Right? Oh god. So this is where you change the keys that shall be presented and listened to. See, the data, the testing keys that the system used was Q and W. Helps a lot since we're using those two. So, as the comment says, the comment right here, here we set up the messages that will trigger a key press. In this case, is Q and W. So, system questions if the message is equal to Q quoted, because it's the only message, then those are the the colon. Let's go to the key presser, which is K, and use the function key press Q. That function of course is going to work like a key press on your computer on your end, and of whatever key is in those commas. I mean those inverted commas. What is it? Quotes, air quotes. So yeah, Q and W. That's what the example goes. So I added all the other letters that I'll be using: Z and X, Y and U, and B and N, right? So I did copy paste and just worked around it. Let's see. I'm moving things around for no apparent reason, and the wait. Yeah, it's the lower part. Just use it on lowercase. It forces it to be on lowercase just in case somebody uses a caps, you know, a capital Q. It interprets it the same way, and it can work anyway. So it's cool. That's you know, something that helps. So now we go to the third step. So as we've seen, I'm gonna stop it right here. As we've seen right now, just go to this website. If you want to make your own Twitch plays, whatever, just go to this website. You gotta download different programs. You gotta download the Python language. You gotta download the PyWin32 that's gonna let you play Python on Windows. Then you got the LitClips that's gonna let you, actually run it. Then you gotta write a few codes, and no, the first programs that you need to download. I was saying all the Python stuff that was on step 1, and also a streaming service and software. In this case, I used OBS. The system suggests FFsplit. It's actually that good. It's very good, but I prefer personally OBS. It hasn't given me any headaches, so I actually enjoy it. So again, when it comes to a second part was setting up LitClips, which is your programming environment, and it gave you a few steps. It told you what to do. Those are just follow the rules and you'll make it through. This is the part where we just actually code. And as I said before, these 3 parts are the codes that we need. Just make these 3 files: the main, the Twitch, and the key presser, right? And the only one you have to edit is the MainPI, right? So because over there you just put your data for Twitch, as in your username and your authorization code to just pick up what's on the chat, and you get to define what keys you want to use for the key presser, right? And that's about it. There are 2 codes. You just copy paste and you'll be doing just fine. Let's see what else happened in the video, right? So those have been the 3 steps for now, right? So as you can see down here, right, modify your MainPI so it fits your game you want Twitch to play. In case of Pokemon, you can use this: A, B, start up, down, left, right. That's what happened in Twitch Plays Pokemon. Is somebody typed, you can actually get a custom message to use as a key. This is the case. People actually wrote up and the system actually pressed W, right? Because it's not like it's gonna press U and P. It's just one key, or at least that's how the system is working right now. It's quite straightforward. You can see it over there. Up, down, left, right. It's WASD, as if it were an FPS, a normal FPS. And the A and B and start are actually other keys. Select is not even involved in here. And well, you just have your keys. And as I said before, my keys were Q, W, Z, X, Y, U, and BN for each limb and 2 orientations, either clockwise or counterclockwise. So now we go to step 4, which is running my program. Yeah, I was explaining in the video how to do exactly that. You see, that's my code. It's called QW, Y, etc., etc. I actually did an M instead of BN. I believe I changed it afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, so running your program, it's that stupid. Code is ready. The last thing we need to do is to start a program we just coded. Follow these steps. Press play. This play right here, it's not going to be that straightforward the first time you do it. Afterwards, it is. But first, you're going to have to go through a little bit of a gauntlet for that. You see, this guy drew like handwritten stuff to make sure you understood. I love him. He's helpful. He's a good man. Second step is actually picking how your Python's gonna run. Configure launch settings from the dialog, whatever. You pick Python run, you pick over there, and you move along. Right? So step 3, just put a name. You select the project that we created before, following the instructions of step 2. Hey, that was too fast. Just wait. Step 3. No! Oh my god. Things are moving too fast for me. Yes. Oh, and what's the first module that's gonna run? Module. That's where the names of the .py files modules. So you give it a name, you select the project, and you select the first module, which is MainPI, and that's it. You move along, and when it comes to play, you say run Twitch plays or whatever the hell you call it. And to stop it, you're gonna see it on your taskbar down there. And you're going to be able to stop it whenever you need it. That's the little icon you see over there. You could be a medic with that handwriting. So I'm back on construct with all the parts. As you remember the past episode, I just set the whole thing up that you could have movements with the character, move the different limbs in different orders, and you should try to get them as close as possible to the guides, in this case the gray straight lines, and let's see how that goes. Yeah, it's running wonderfully fast. Yes, frame drops were a thing back then. Yes, you can see that there's the timer, the parts, whatever. And I believe that was me trying to move one of the limbs with the keyboard itself. Right? So, what else did I do? It was actually straightforward. What we just this past 20 minutes, it was, a whole procedure of making the Twitch plays thing work. You play LitClips, and you can actually see in the console that it's picking up whatever's being written on the chat, and with that, you just play and let it go. It's gonna use the key in anything that's focused on. If it's focused on a text box, it's gonna write things down. If it's focused on your game, it's probably gonna do whatever you wanted it to do, right? So I was explaining something else in here. I don't know. Just have a lot more runtime going on. So here I must be fine-tuning the movements of the limbs. As you can see, probably I'm explaining what else I added. I believe I added a few things. Because when you move the limbs, this is Construct 2 though. This is no longer Python. So what I did is you move 5 degrees in one direction, but the forearm moves on the other direction. So just so you can have weirder precisions. Because it makes no sense if the whole arm is just one straight thing. And you can see right there, right? So arms and forearms are just, separate entities that will move and rotate in different things. And let's see. What else did I do? See, it's not that easy when it comes to, picking up your last video and trying to figure out what the hell you did. But hey, I'm trying. So yeah, I'm just explaining what I said before, just limbs and limbs and stuff and limbs and limbs and stuff. So, did I set the guides invisible? It's a position. Oh, what's this? Wait. So what you can barely see right here is the construct event called onStartOfLayout. Start of layout, as the name suggests, is when the level or the layout starts, we're gonna do all this stuff. All that's in this right side column. And you can see that the first 4 lines are relative to the guides, the little gray lines that will be randomly positioned in either of the 360 degrees. I use round because I don't like those, you know, half-baked angles. I don't know. And guides. What did I put the guides on a family? So what construct does when it comes to families is that you can group up things and give them properties so you can work with them more comfortably when it comes to coding. In this case, if I say set invisible of the guides, it's not going to happen because I have it crossed out. But if I wanted to hide them, instead of doing 4 lines of set this invisible, and whatnot, I just set one thing invisible, which is the whole family, and that's it. This is one of the little perks that using families in construct has. So when the thing starts, then the few lines that follow, like this one and this one, I set a position of the left arm to the point of what would be considered the elbow, right? Yeah, the elbow of the robot. In this case, let's take the left arm that says right there. So I'm just gonna let it roll, see if anything interesting happens. But in the meantime, I'm gonna explain this. So right arm, I'm gonna use the right arm since it's what's highlighted. Right arm, when it starts, is gonna be a position relative to arm 1. Arm 1, as you can see here, right? It's this part of the arm. So I set the position of right arm. Its origin point is this one. So I wanted to pinpoint it to pinpoint it right here. However, this is not the point, the origin point of this part of the arm. It's this one, like the shoulder. If you want to spin it, it's over here. So I made a second image point, reference point, that I called axis. That is right here on the elbow. And that's what's going to help me do this. So I pin it, position only, right? As it says on this line right here, only in position, so I can rotate it relative to the elbow, and this can rotate relative to the shoulder. If I only rotate this guy and not this guy, then this can happen. The arm stays looking like this. I'm having trouble. And that's it. As you remember, I made a code that says 5 degrees up and this guy 5 degrees on the other direction. So this is counterclockwise, this is clockwise. So it's gonna be something like this. Whenever I move it, I'm looking like an idiot. I don't give a shit. So, and yeah, I'm probably explaining that. I love it when I say I'm probably explaining something, because I don't know what the hell I was talking about back then, especially with a, screen like that. Yes, I was explaining the elbow thing. Yes, that's, that over there was the elbow thing, as I was explaining. I think I'm going step by step into this. There's a left arm. Oh my god, why did I select the whole thing? Yeah, so on start of layout, you do this whole bunch of stuff. Cool. What else did you talk about, Rod? Tell me. Do tell me. Be my friend. Oh wait, I think I know how to... Yeah, give me a second. I think I know how to mirror me. Give me a a second. Just give me a beat. This will make so much sense if I'm mirrored, because I'm just gesturing over there, which is where I have the screen, and if I'm mirrored, it will make sense. Haha. Yes! There we go. When I do this, it makes sense now. Good. Sorry. There we go. Yes, so we have this column, that's the what will happen after the layout starts. Good, good. It's right here, and it makes more sense. I don't have to look like an idiot. It's over here. Everything's happening over here, and it's awesome. What the hell am I talking about? God knows. I'm gonna move a bit forward. What the sh... Parameters of left arm. What am I doing? Oh, that was awesome! No, it stayed the same because you pinned it. What the hell did I just do? Never mind. Yeah, since I'm no longer pinned, it's gonna work. I was trying to demonstrate that, you know, the basic point of left arm and alarm 1 and alarm 1 X and Y is not the same point as, you know, the image point that I said. You see, forearm stuck to the elbow. The elbow stuck to the shoulder. Cool. As weird as it looks. Whoa, 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 give me a second. There I'm talking again about the axis point. Did I actually draw the axis point? Come on. Do we have footage of that? Do we... Pin. Oh, we're gonna talk about pin behavior. Yes. What the heck is a pin behavior? As the name would suggest, goddamn pins things into things. So, how pin works. Most of the time you're gonna pin stuff with position and angle. In this case it's just position. It's a behavior because Construct is a good friend of ours and has a lot of behaviors we can use. One of those behaviors is pin. And pinning, as the name would suggest, takes one object, takes another with the pin behavior, and if you say pin this guy over here, whatever happens to this guy down here, it's gonna happen to the guy on top, depending on the parameters that you gave. Because if you say like this guy pin to having this guy pin this guy to this guy in position and angle, things like this would happen when I move the guy under it, and it's all good. Otherwise, if it's position only, it will happen what we said with the arm. If it's position only, this guy will move around, will rotate, and the second and the pin stuff will not give a rat's ass about it, right? What the hell was I doing on the background? Alright, give me a second. Yeah. So, apparently I was explaining stuff in the background. Will you look at that? That's a pin behavior for you all. Oh, I'm making the same gestures I'm making right now on the original video. I think you have it on the background, you can see it. You can barely see it. It's over there. That's me. That's past me doing stuff. I'm gonna cover my tracks so you don't see me. I'm gonna be a bit lower. There we go. So, what else did I do in this episode? Oh my god. Yeah, sure. What? What now? Why is this me letting people play with the thing? Oh, So I just let people play with it and then went to Flash. I don't know why. Let's see what I did. I have no idea. Suspense is killing me. The way I see it, I may be able to fit 2 episodes on one stream for the next couple of streams, you know, episode 3 and 4 of the Spanish stream. Maybe I will, because it's that fast and that interesting. So, why the hell did I have a blank Flash thing going on? I'm gonna just skip ahead a little bit. What's going on? Oh. This is inspiration, right? And apparently I killed it. That was Monsters in My Condo. Or was it? Yeah, Monsters in My Metropolis, was it? Yeah, Monsters Ate My Metropolis is actually quite an inspiration for this. And come on, scale it. There we go. So the happy idea is to have a game presented kind of like this. What you've been playing lately is rather similar. Of course, when it comes to art, it's nowhere near. But the idea is you have this, you know, this side are the enemies, and this side are the good guys, which is you, which is the Crowdtron. And just like in Monsters Ate My Metropolis, you have special attacks. You need to do a little quick time event or minigame, if you will. Well, this is the same thing. You're going to be able to just pose this guy to attack rather strong or rather weak, depending on how close to the guys you get it. And hey, see what happens. Why the hell did I use that image anyways? If you haven't played that game, just play it. It's awesome. Yeah, sure, whatever. What else? Blah 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 blah. Yeah, this guy over here, blah 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 blah. That's a Godzilla. You see, that's a Gojira. A barely drawn Gojira. What else? So yeah, that's probably happened. I'm just letting people play with it. Yeah. So this is when I actually ended the stream right here, and I probably will end this stream right here. It was rather short. I'm left rather short, but I haven't downloaded the third video, so I'm just gonna leave it like that today. Let's make a quick review, because we can. So remember, what I try to do right here is having this robot be played and rather post, because there was nothing else to do, with the inputs of the chat. As you can see over there, I'm just covering one of the inputs. So, oh, no. There we go. There. So, as you can see, I'm not covering myself enough. There we go. So, you have Q, W, Z, X, Y, U, B, and N, right? Those are the keys that you're going to use to move the character around. Right now, there are no objectives. There were no objectives back then. We made a few objectives, I believe in the 3rd episode, when we started using the Megazord. Because it was Power Rangers Week or something back then, and it worked. It was quite weird and quite awesome. So, this, like, lame Mark 1, or Mark 0, if you will, is it's something that people started playing with. And well, let's do a review of how this thing works. We're getting back to the video and this. You go to widus.com and you look for make your own Twitch play stream. Just look it on Google, you're gonna find it. There's no complications with that. I'm gonna just reposition my face in here. There we go. So, as I was saying, just go to this website. It has a few good steps. It's 4 steps. The only hard step, if you will, is just writing code. And it's not really writing code, you just copy paste code and just adapt it to what you need. So you get the programs, which is step one. You download your software to stream. Is it OBS? Is it FFsplit? Is it whatever the heck you want? I don't know. I personally recommend OBS, which is, what was it? Open Broadcast Software. It's like super straightforward with the name. So, what else? You set your Twitch account. You set LitClips. You download the thing. You set it up. That's where you're gonna program. You gotta create the modules, which is MainPI or whatever that is set over there. But still, call it MainPI and just work around with this. Follow the steps. Follow the steps on this vertical options here. Otherwise, you won't know the small details. That's the only flaw in the user experience of this tutorial, though. Then, code your program. As I said, you need those three modules. Main, the Twitch one that's going to let you log into your Twitch, and the key presser that's going to simulate the key presses, and as the name suggests. So, you got to copy paste the code, and the only one you got to modify is the MainPI. As you can see right here, modify this to fit your game. How do you modify that? Simple. You just use the authorization keys that you're gonna get from Twitch, and if you just go to the website, you can see over there. We go to the link so you can copy paste. You can see that, enter your Twitch username and your authorization key. You can get those from twitchapps.com TMI. Just simple. Copy paste it, you just let it go and roll with it. Then you just make the code that's gonna let you choose what keys are gonna be pressed for your game. Those are yeah, explained step by step. This is how it picks up the messages. It uses lower keys, so you can use capitalized letters and lower key letters, because the system is gonna just take it as lower keys, so it's all good. So and the lines are over here. If message is Q, it considers it a key press of Q. If the message is a W, it's going to consider it a W key press, and so on and so forth, depending on what you need. See, that was mine. Q, W, Z, Y, blah, 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 blah. What else? What else? What else? And this was the first tries of, making the whole thing. I actually think I skipped something interesting, or rather interesting, which is a measure. See, there's a measure that I'm skipping. Text power. Yeah, I calculate something as in how close they are to the marks. I hide them when the game plays, but it makes no sense. Probably explain it later when we work with the Megazord, because it makes more sense. And there's a severe lack of feedback in this one, and as you might notice, it gets better with time. This experiment just kept on growing and making more interesting things. As of right now, as you see right there, it's like super early. Then it gets a bit more interesting. So yeah. So this was another restream dub. Yeah, another restream dub, where I technically just streamed again what I did back in Spanish some months ago. So if you're a native speaker in English, you can try it yourself and make your own little Twitch Plays game. I was gonna say Twitch Plays Pokemon, but it's not a Twitch Plays Pokemon. You want to make a Twitch Plays Pokemon? Go ahead, that's your thing. I'm making a game where I can make a robot dance. You do whatever your heart pleases. And with that, I believe this stream is over, right? So I'll see you next week, and probably continuing this restream dub thing, where I will talk about how we created a minigame around the posing of the robot, just not the fighting that the game is current state is. So it actually helped a lot to make like this minigame and let people play around with the robot. And why the hell I picked a Megazord as a placeholder in the meantime. So hey, thanks again for following. Thanks again for joining in the chat. And if you have any questions, you can follow me on Twitter. It's at @rod_f. We have the follow me on Twitch in this channel, of course. If you're watching it on YouTube, the channel is Twitch TV/Tafto with Rod, as in trying a few things out with Rod. And if you're on YouTube, feel free to subscribe to whatever, just share it and enjoy it. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please do share them. I would like to hear a lot more from you. So have a good one. Cheers. And let your robots be happy or whatever. Cheers.